Welcome to This Explainer. Have you ever felt just absolutely frustrated with yourself? You know the feeling. You set a big goal, you map out this perfectly flawless plan, and then you completely fail to follow through. Well, if that sounds like you, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving deep into why we all struggle with discipline. But listen, we aren't going to sit here and talk about just trying harder or magically finding more grit. Instead, we're unpacking the fascinating neuroscience behind the mental blocks that are literally killing your discipline. And we'll look at exactly how you can break free from them. Here is our roadmap for today. First up, the myth of willpower. Second, truth 1, the comfort trap. Third, truth 2, environmental hijacking. Fourth, truth 3, the identity shift. And we'll wrap up with the new disciplined you. All right, kicking things off with section 1, the myth of willpower, and exactly why you hit snooze. Okay, so picture this. It's the night before. You set your alarm for 6 a.m. and you're feeling incredible, right? You're thinking, this is it. This is my new habit, my new life. I'm totally gonna win the day. But then, morning actually rolls around. The alarm blares, and suddenly, your bed feels unbelievably warm. Immediately, your brain starts negotiating with you. It feeds you these really convincing excuses like, maybe I'll just start tomorrow. Or, I only slept 6 hours, and rest is super important for my health. Or the all-time classic, just 5 more minutes. And before you even realize what's happening, boom, you are fast asleep again. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates our first major takeaway today. Failing to get out of bed, it isn't a moral failing. It's not some lack of character, and it is definitely not a lack of willpower. It is simply how your brain is hardwired. Once you realize that this is literally just neuroscience, you can stop feeling so guilty all the time and actually start fixing the core mechanism that's holding you back. Moving right along to section 2, truth 1, the comfort trap, or the biological block. So when you wake up to that alarm, your limbic system totally takes the wheel. This is an ancient part of your brain, and it is hardwired to prioritize comfort over progress at absolutely all costs. It does not care about your long-term goals or your ambitious fitness plans. It literally sees effort like waking up early or starting a grueling workout as a full-blown threat. To your limbic system, effort registers in the exact same way as physical pain. So your brain floods you with those sneaky excuses just to protect you from discomfort. So the crucial question here is, how do we actually override this biological trap? Well, you don't do it by fighting the emotion. Your feelings of being tired, those are real. Your desire to stay in bed is totally valid, but you don't fight that emotion. Instead, you use logic to win the first 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds. That is your golden window. Those 10 seconds dictate absolutely everything. When the alarm rings, or when it's time to head to the gym, you've got to act in that tiny 10-second window before your limbic system can boot up its negotiation tactics. You literally have to get up before you think. Step out that door before you can negotiate. If you can just train yourself to act from logic rather than emotion for 10 seconds, the momentum takes over. Win that tiny window, and I promise you, the next 2 hours of your morning or your workout are going to feel totally effortless. Okay, section 3. Truth 2. Environmental hijacking. The dopamine drain. Now that we've hacked your internal biology, we really need to talk about the outside world. Because the modern world is not neutral, it is actively engineered to steal your discipline. Think about it. You're getting ready for the gym, you're hyped up, but you pause to check one single notification on your phone. Bam! That quick check spirals into 30 solid minutes of scrolling. By the time you look up, your dopamine is completely spent, you feel guilty, your motivation is tanked, and your brain is whispering, let's just go tomorrow. Guys, this is not an accident. Social media, scientifically engineered junk food, streaming platforms that autoplay the next episode, they are explicitly designed to keep you hooked and distracted. Which brings us to a massive critical realization. You simply cannot rely on willpower to fight against a billion-dollar tech industry or a team of food scientists. It is a losing battle every single time. Instead, you've got to protect yourself by creating what we call a microenvironment. You have to actively design a space that is built strictly for your own success. The most ultra-disciplined people out there, they don't magically possess more willpower than you do. They just treat their environment like their life depends on it. They follow very specific, practical steps. They actually delete the distracting apps. They flat out refuse to keep junk food in the house because, hey, if it's not there, you can't eat it. They lay out their gym clothes right in the middle of the floor the night before. By doing all of this, the temptations are just completely gone, and the healthy decisions are basically already made for them before they even wake up. The core strategy is honestly so simple. Make distractions harder and make discipline easier. The fundamental rule of this truth is a bit stark, but it is entirely accurate. If you do not actively control your environment will inevitably control you. That brings us to section 4, truth 3, the identity shift, motivation versus self-image. There is a massive, absolute game-changing distinction between identity and motivation. You see, your brain honestly does not care about your fleeting motivation. It will always inevitably return to who you believe you fundamentally are. If you are out there trying to force discipline, but deep down your self-image is saying, I'm just not a gym person, or I'm naturally lazy, well, forced discipline is eventually going to fail. You simply cannot outperform your own self-image. To fix this psychological block, you have to stop relying on what you merely want to do and start acting like the person you intend to be. We do this by completely flipping the script on our internal dialogue. We have to shift away from weak, motivation-based statements and start using powerful, identity-based statements. Look at how dramatically the framing changes when we just tweak our language. When you say, I want to wake up early, you are literally implying that right now you are someone who sleeps in and you're just trying really hard to be someone else. But when you declare, I am an early riser, you are claiming it. It's a fact of your character. I am a healthy person. I am a focused person. The very second you tell your brain, hey, this is who I am, the brain's internal logic kicks in, and it naturally starts aligning your daily habits to match that exact self-image. All right, our final section, section 5, the new disciplined you, rewiring your reality. When you compound these 3 truths, when you conquer that 10-second biological battle against your limbic system, when you engineer a distraction-free microenvironment that guards your dopamine, and when you actually begin acting out your new identity, you physically rewire your brain. At first, yeah, forcing the new habit feels incredibly hard. But next, as you stay consistent, it actually begins to feel natural. And finally, you hit the ultimate goal. It just feels like you. You don't even have to try to be disciplined anymore. You simply are a disciplined person. So knowing that willpower is mostly a myth, knowing that your biology desperately wants to keep you comfortable, and knowing that your brain simply follows your self-image, we are left with one final, absolutely essential question. Stop asking yourself what you want to do today. Instead, ask yourself right now, who are you choosing to be today? Decide on that identity, win those first 10 seconds, and watch your entire reality change.